Takata, which means a single point apiece for them.
But
Kane
actually,
has a point
as you mentioned,
prior.
Top Boy just got knocked out. So both players with 3 limbs just dropped.
A plethora still with 2. We have 5 players currently alive with 2 eliminations there you see on your board. A lot of them relatively close to the zone, except for Rio, 400 meters away still. He's sitting pretty on HP and shield, but he's going to have to rotate relatively quickly. Might have been the most replaced structure I've seen at the factories there at Loot Lake. We took a look for a second, but Horrify stuck up top, taking a moment. Any seconds he has to pop any heals possible, they're going to go for it. And he tried to place the bounce pad on the way down to prevent any fall damage. Didn't need to. Takes the bounce pad in that situation though. Tries to rotate away. Gets tagged midair as this 1v1 against X is kind of flirting with the edge of the zone. X is going to try and layer up so he can sneak in underneath Horrify, and Tempo is there as well.
And this is a beautiful spot for Tempo. Both these players pushing out of the zone. They've obviously been weakened quite a little bit. He drops Horrify down to just a couple shots left. X and Tempo are both like, hey, I want this. No, this one's mine. As they continue to spray down, Horrify is just in a terrible spot. Tempo not really peeking too much from the other side. Can't drop down this structure as of yet. There it goes. No, it's still locked in.
It looks like it's attached to the 3rd point there. X is hoping to drop Horrify out in the open. Actually, during that, as Horrify was building up, X has had a moment there where he could have whipped the shotgun shot. And if Horrify was very low HP, it could have been an elimination already and put him at 2, but it looks like a hesitation caused him to not go for it. And he's going to have to back out of this, I think, 60 seconds. And looking at the potential zone movement here and the chance that there's a 3rd player, if he knew Tempo was there, saying that I need to move away now and secure the safe zone rather than go for this. And nobody that is currently alive is shining with 3 limbs yet. There's a lot of players with opportunities. Jesus 51 players remaining and moving in past the lake. Very open play here, and he sees the target in front of him is getting shot from within that brick structure. So kind of a sandwich situation here. He could be the 3rd player here and go for elimination on someone that may be caught off guard. Brandon is the player up top. He's got Unicorn in front of him. Going to push up, maybe establish himself as basically a neighbor here, seeing we're at the very edge of the zone. You see on the map in the top right, he's going for a gatekeeping situation, watching for people rotating in, and that's why he's sitting up top. He's got the edit active on the triangle so he can look through the structure that is currently established there. Nobody can see him, but he can see everybody.
It's a pretty good spot to be in, especially in a battle royale. A look at Blue T, J Cuddy on the edge of the storm. They'll have to move on in. There are 49 players left, and this zone is getting very, very small. You'd expect the lobby to begin to drop quick, and here's the gatekeeping you mentioned. He's got the edit ready to basically be able to peek on up out of there like whack-a-mole at any moment.
Almost expect an edit and maybe go for a hunting rifle shot on that player that was rotating across the river. Horrify we saw earlier. I almost expect him to go down. This means he rotated out past Tempo, moving towards Loot Lake, trying to go for the safe zone. That's the key right now with 47 remaining.
And we haven't really talked about it a lot today, but you see these players, where they hit these trees, they drop them down to just 50 HP. For the viewers at home who might not realize, what is the thought process behind that if you're a pro player?
So if you finish a tree, the leaves kind of get kicked up in the air. There's an animation that plays that gives away position to these players that are extremely attentive to their surroundings constantly. So you see a tree go down, you know someone is harvesting that area. It's giving player location. That information can be incredible. That one, an easy knockdown because it's built within the structure, so it's not gonna give away too much. Plus, any materials are important. The players will opt to not finish trees very often, just so that they can remain as hidden as possible. Kevy here, 0 Elam sitting inside, well inside the safe zone, watching outside this little window, using the camera angle to look around the corner, not exposing himself, and watching for player rotations, an opportunity to take shots at literally anybody. You see Jamok in the middle of that with popping a med kit, almost no HP remaining. Kevy in the feed, Vape Jesus getting an elimination on Turkey Lips, who we saw go absolutely crazy. Turkey Lips did have 3 Elams though before he went down. For everybody at home, that is a point secured, so we should feel great about that. And there's still 4 games left after this. He has many chances ahead of him. Blind in the feed getting elimination. Before we cut away to this very wide angle shot, you can see this shot is so important. You can see how many players are starting to build up around Loot Lake, a very uncommon location for players to favor because it's so exposed. Courage fighting in the water it slows you down, and you have to have that extra floor layer. You see even where Kuroz is sitting here, there's nothing built underneath him. If you're on Loot Lake, you've got to use more materials to even build the same established location, and that can be tough, especially
with a point on the board. I believe that's 2 so far for him today. Blue T chasing this limb down. Look at how weak he is. He's got him down to just one shot. You'd expect Blue T to clean this up, but no, the launch pad to disengage. I think he's going to live to see another day.
I'm going to be surprised if he doesn't pick that double barrel up. There it is.
Look at the loadout.
There
My gosh. 7 minis, a big shield, 3 legendary weapons, and oops, drops them on in. And well, when you got a drum gun from that close and you'd have no shields, you're dead. There's no other way to put it.
I like the comment. Blind, the tracking on his opponent there. Powder went for a jump over the top to try and pull like a jump 180, and Blind, the accuracy during tracking and players that are moving that fast, that close to you, very high sense players, just because the rate at which they have to build the Blind, so accurate.
This is Animal, who's just hoping he can get a mini off or two. Hysteria's still live. He's already in the next zone as well. 1 limb to his name.
38 remaining. There's this wide angle shot in the top right. You can see multiple players engaged already in the modern building over there. You have Hysteria kind of taking a look, gets the elimination on the Animal you see there in the feed.
And that's the right idea. He sees that fight, and he's saying, wait, that guy's probably weak. Let me try to spray this down in hopes he stopped for a second. That player, Bolt Naga, only had 25 HP. Yes, he's not able to finish the limb, but it's the right idea when you try to third-party one of these fights. This is the third limb for Cuddy from earlier on that we did see. Just sprays down with that SMG to put another board on the board.
Just after that as well, moments ago in the feed, Blind securing his third elimination of this game gives him 1 point. He's very close inside the zone, but this is what we've seen. We saw this last game. We're going to see it again. A high player count in a very tight space. The next circle is when things are going to move, so chaos will unleash. And here you're going to see a lot of players holding hands. Blind getting another elimination that puts him at 4. One more is a second point. The stink bombs coming out. These are very common for rooting players out. Competitive players, they don't necessarily use it in an aggressive manner all the time, but it's kind of like a way to track targets. They'll chuck it at structures that maybe someone's hiding inside just to get a location, because you can see the 5 damage numbers pop out. And it's like being able to see through walls almost. But this is Aiden. Something we've watched. Oh, the fall damage in Loot Lake.
There's the live reaction again.
He's got a smile still on his face. He knows there's 4 games left. As we cut to this, I don't know if you saw that. Somebody's flying literally at the camera. And this is the beginning of the nest. You see players flying out now. And
one big thing I do want to point out, all of our kind of top performers from back in game 1, they're really not high up here at all on our scoreboard that I'm seeing. So this kind of lead that people had from the first match,
oh my gosh,
might not follow through. How stacked is that side of the zone?
The west side of the circle is a nightmare. We have a couple players that are established away from that, which is fantastic.
Here's the shot of the one side of the zone. Can we try to get that identical shot to the other side of the zone just to see what it's like?
The west side would be perfect. Base Soldier going down to Blind. Blind picking up his 5th elimination. That's 2 points for this game.
Blue T has 6 bounce pads. He can use these to maneuver so easily.
That means he's going to stay up top here. He doesn't have to start building to get away. He's already prepping for a move, moving ahead. There's 5 seconds left. He didn't even start when the zone started. He got ahead of it because he knows positioning early from last game showed to be very important, but other players are going to watch him right there. Getting shot from the side. Not a lot of damage. He still has a ton of shield left. 65 and 95 HP, so he's sitting pretty still. Can take even a heavy sniper rifle shot to the body, and he'll stay alive.
Oh, Jay Cuddy's got no healing. He's just hoping for a 5th limb for another point. I think that's kind of what he's playing around right now. He's going to
throw some rockets in.
Look to push on in as well. Absolute one-shot Blue T. Still with around 160 HP. Looks like Lasius just took down Bolt Naga. You see Joystick getting eliminated in the engagement feed. 25 players left as we've made it into the zone. The quick little look at the picture-in-picture in the top right of just how hectic this truly is.
25 players remaining. Even though he's at 65 shield, popping the full just to get as much as he can. Late game, especially in these hectic moves, these players, that's why we saw a Chug Jug earlier last game, I believe, from Aiden for only 50 shield. You're not going to have the time to use that during situations like this. Everyone is going to listen for that and push.
Is Blind the only one that is not on the bottom layer? He's in a brilliant position to lay down damage. He's got bounce pad. He's got a bounce pad to fall. He's got rockets still in his inventory. A legendary assault rifle.
Hysteria picking up his 2nd Elam. One more gets him a point. He takes tempo as fake. Jesus out. Oh. Jay Cuddy, who was looking for his 5th Elam, gets rocketed.
He's just up in a tower. That's 2 in a row that he's done this with. C9 Blind now at 6 limbs. He could go on a tear to the end of this game, Lupo. No one is contesting him at all.
You're right. Look,
he's completely
nobody
safe.
else is as high as he is right now.
And it's so secured. That structure is so secured. He's going to have to move.
Still. The loadout is absolutely amazing. The shots gets at least 1 midair. Shield pack. sees another player rotating, this is an opportunity for Blind to just take taps at everybody that's moving, because somebody might be 1 or 2 shots, and he's accurate enough, he can secure the 7th elim. That'd be 3 points this game alone. There's players right in front of him. I'm surprised he's not taking shots at blue team during a rotation, because he has layers. Even he could defend himself while moving. Looks like there's going to be a challenge. Drops himself down, takes a little bit of fall damage, but it's not enough to change his mindset about this engagement. He can still be aggressive. Gets a shot, the jump shot, the double barrel, so powerful.
And he's back to the high ground. He's not done yet, folks.
11 players remaining.
He's got more eyes on. The lobby dropping so quickly now. I believe we're down to our top 10 as this is already a 4-point game for Blind. We mentioned yesterday Tyler's had the incredible 6-point performance, the max you can earn from 1 game. Blind trying to do the same here. 8 now remaining. Sean was taken with a quick elim. Blind refreshes his assault rifle ammo. He was down to just 1 clip, and now he has 500.
It's not the only thing in his repertoire, too. The rocket launcher in the previous, what, 3-4 eliminations for him has been absolutely ridiculous. This amount of structure and how powerful.
No one can contest him up here.
It's crazy.
Oh, maybe a Portafort can.
Spoke too soon. Looks like somebody with a Portafort pushing up and taking an advantage. The Portafort destroys all the structure that it should, that it will break through, and Blind.
Look at how fast that was. Another elim coming on in. Blind dropping all the way down. He's at 8. It's a 1v1. This is it. Can Blind win this game with a perfect score? Blind panicking. Yes! A 6-point game for Blind. As this man is now sitting pretty at the top of the standings.
I can't handle this courage. This is absolutely amazing. The plays, the plays. It's too much. We watched Blind earlier track targets.
Look at his shaking. Look at his hands shaking. Here it is again. The drop down. His drum gun wasn't loaded. His double barrel wasn't loaded. He had to spray with the scar. That's how caught off guard he was. His hands shaking. But guess what, my friend? You just did the impossible for what a lot of people would imagine. That is a full 6-point performance, immediately skyrocketing up the standings.
C9's got to feel real good about picking him up. I definitely would. What a set of plays. He had perfect positioning against everybody in Loot Lake as they rotated out. He had a top-down view the entire time. We had the Portafort came out and kind of mixed things up, but he reacted appropriately as so many players went down so quickly. That last transition, it caught us off guard. Suddenly there were only 2 left. It was a 1v1 situation literally on top of each other, and Blind took advantage of it. 9 eliminations.
You remember back all the way at the Ninja Vegas event was the first time I've ever heard of this guy.
The first time I've seen him.
He wasn't even signed yet. I believe he won back-to-back solos. C9 then picked him up, and then now look at what he's doing for himself. Congratulations to Blind. Incredible performance there. We've got replays for him, as you'd expect. Top elims in the game, top spot in the game, and not only again does he earn those points, the 6 points, he just won $25,000 for the Victory Royale.
Absolutely ridiculous. There's moments up here sitting at the top of the tower. You see in the minimap, he's positioned extremely well multiple times during these rotations, has clear opportunities to drop rockets on players. That rocket launcher paying off huge. One of the most powerful tools, the jump shot. Blue T, you potentially Blind hearing the reload going off, and so he goes for the edit and the quick jump shot. And down here, the very last elimination.
You see, he was trying to swap through.
He was.
Was it Chap?
It was.
It was Chap?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
2 titans of Fortnite fighting it out basically up close.
And there's his teammate from C9 giving him the quick little high five. This venue is packed right now. People enjoying the free food over at the Der Burger. All I know is the beauty of this, we are playing 6 games today, not just 4. So instead of being halfway done with the action, we're only a third of the way done. I think we have to go to this right now, though. An interview with C9 Blind, 6 total points, a monster performance, and he's now $25,000 richer.
Guys, what an incredible game. I'm down here screaming my head off. I'm here with Blind. Blind, my man, you just slayed out 9 eliminations in the Victory Royale. How are you feeling, dude?
I can't believe this, dude. This is amazing. Wow, wow.
I mean, how does it feel? So not only did you get 9 eliminations, you get the 3 points from that, the Victory Royale, which is 3 points, and 25 grand. I mean, what's going through your mind right now, dude?
Nothing. I can't even, I'm speechless, dude. I can't believe this at all. Like, at one point, like, I don't know, just my instincts just kicked in and I just did what I did. That's pretty much it.
Dude, you were full bore there, gas pedal. I mean, what's the strategy going to be like going into the next few games?
I mean, I think I'm going to play probably the same, just pretty passive toward the beginning of the game, and then just go aggressive because, you know, the beginning is kind of sketchy.
Do you want to say anything to your fans? I mean, PAX was here in an uproar. Do you want to say anything to them and everyone at home who's watching?
Just thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Congrats. Best of luck in the next few games, Blind. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break, but stay tuned. We've got more action heading your way. Oh my God, Blind. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a packed house. We are at capacity as people are lined up down the street live for the biggest spectacle of PAX West, the grand finals of the Fortnite Summer Skirmish. This has been 8 weeks of competition leading up to this point. $8 million up for grabs. Today, $1.5 million alone. And it has not disappointed at all so far, Lupo. We've actually got to look at the standings right now. I'm assuming Blind is sitting pretty at the top. No? Oh, okay, wait. He should probably be sitting pretty at the top. We'll get that fixed for everybody at home. As Jay Cuddy, though, still in a good spot. 6 elims and 5 total points.
Landjock, our winner from the first game. Yeah, we'll get those resolved quickly. But like you were saying, Courage, regardless of how many people are in this parking lot right now, how packed it is here. If you're in Seattle, if you're at PAX West, and you're not down here, you are seriously missing out. We have 4 games left, $1.5 million on the line, and every victory royale is worth $25,000 for the player that comes away with the win. That's crazy.
Landjock, $25,000 richer after game 1 with the victory royale. Obviously, C9 Blind, $25,000 richer after game 2 with the victory royale. Moving forward, we're seeing just how stacked these lobbies are towards the end, how many players are in them. We do have the fixed standings here that we'll go ahead and pull on up as well.
There we go.
Okay, that makes sense.
9
so Jay
eliminations.
At 8 elims and 3 points. Okay, so changes things a little bit, but he is far and away at that top spot, Lupo.
That's absolutely amazing. Literally double second place. Landjock sitting so far behind. I say so far behind. 3 points is absolutely ridiculous. But sitting at 3 points compared to Blind 6, because in game 1, Landjock played very slow, very passive, very methodical, because he didn't want to go for engagements. He was going for leaderboard placement, and you could see Blind saying, okay, I can play aggressive. I can get elims and placement, and it pays off 6 points in a single game. That's the second time, only second time we've seen it thus far.
And remember, 21st through 100th all earn $5,000. It's that top 20 that you can really earn the extra little bit of money. Now, we wound up going and looking at the prizing. Think Blind with the victory royale earns himself $25,000. But now that he's leaped into that first spot, doubling the points of even second, when you look at the prize graphic, you're thinking, wait, this man not only with 1 pop-off game won 25 grand, but could have scored himself at the end of the day another $250,000 almost from that one game.
Yeah, it all depends on how the following 4 games go. And I guarantee you, like we've seen over the course of the last 3 days, Jack, you're going to see players change the way that they play. They're going to make adjustments. We've already seen a number of players decide based on what they saw from players like Aiden, Tyler's, Animal, who came away with a 10 elimination game as well. They're going to say, if they can play aggressive and get those kind of numbers, so can I. We've got fast edits, crazy accurate shots, and we have a bus loading up, Jack. It's almost time for game 3.
5 seconds. Here we go. We just saw a legendary Fortnite performance from C9 Blind. Who will do it now in game number 3? It is time. The battle bus has launched. Game number 3 is underway. Who will join Landjock and Blind and become $25,000 richer with a victory royale here?
These early engagements, I guarantee you, we're going to see, what, round 4, 5, 6, whatever it is, of Aiden versus Nick Merckx and Tilted Towers. I almost wonder if one of them decides they don't want to face the other again. Maybe Nick Merckx. He's lost both thus far. And I'm going to guarantee you, though, the crowd here wants to see it again. I'd bet you anything in the world. Now, you have in the bottom right there our winner from last round, Cloud9's Blind, an excellent player. Very, very good awareness and ability to track opponents. And we're going to see where he drops versus everybody else flying through that little zone there. The low grab zones, man, those change things up. I feel like you kind of put yourself in an exposed position, but we're going to have a very early 1v1 Blind. Somebody lands up top. The blue SMG, an excellent early game weapon. And the shots coming out, taking it. Blind doesn't have the ability to build those, so he's got to rely on accuracy alone. He's got to go for a reload, and it seems like he lost track. It doesn't matter. Gets the shots and the fast reload.
Ooh. You see, he shakes his head like, that was not a fight I wanted to have. Nate Hill is just on the other side of the hill with a little tack shotgun and shield combo. So
look at the loadout.
Yeah, unless he's able to heal up real quick, Blind, I think it's going to be in a tough spot, as Nate Hill might just push this right away.
Could go for a hunting rifle shot up. Makes me wonder, Blind must not have realized that Nate was over there. There it is. Go for the hunting rifle. Oh, he doesn't get it. Very close shot, but Nate Hill comes away with that. I think he...
That's what we're talking about, right? He's so low. Nate Hill realizes that I just got a big shield. I'm at 150 health. I can just push this right away.
You know, we heard the engagement earlier, too,
sure.
so there's no reason not go in on that. Cryo, our coin toss winner from yesterday, can get shots off here at Gray AR. Quite a bit of materials for an early game. He's sitting on 13, 12 builds now as he's trying to wall off and rotate away. Looks like he's trying to get a different position. You don't want to repeat the same spot twice. You don't necessarily know if your player, unless you saw them rotate through their weapons, especially somebody like Saf. This is not the first time they've fought each other here. Furico taking a shot, that hunting rifle. Literally, as I was going to say, you don't want to repeat the same spot twice because players might have a hunting rifle. Yeah. Or look at Saf. He's got a semi-auto sniper. They can take a very quick shot if they know you're going to come up in the same spot. A crit could mean the difference between 89th right now and making it on maybe to the next circle.
This is Saf's fight. I mean, you have to think
top
down shotgun, an LMG. He had the top down for the moment.
Low build count, though. Only 5 layers you can put up, and players use those very quickly in 1v1s like this. He's peeking through. Look at him look through the angle at the top. Trying to track his opponent. The trap play potentially goes for it. His opponent backing out inside. There we go. Using those materials as layers. It's like an extra defense. It's almost like a shield. He's
he heard a shield tack with those nades. Turns around. There's the quick shot on the Furico.
Good awareness from Saf, knowing his opponent is underneath 100.
He got it. I think there was a headshot. I don't know if he got the elim. We're checking out Aiden right now. We'll update you guys there on that last fight. Aiden now and Tilted getting pushed. Not sure who he's battling right now.
Landjack on the feet, our winner from game 1, gets elimination as well.
That was against Fly Crunch.
Crunch, who has been landing here consistently as well. It's time for a little top down. He's going to go for the shots. Whoa, lasers Crunch on the rotation out and gets his first elimination here in Tilted, but he's not done yet. You know there's more players inside.
So I believe Saf hit the headshot, but it wasn't enough to get the elim. That player was so healthy. Remember the semi-auto sniper. The only of the snipers that doesn't instantly drop the opponent. Yeah, Cryo got dropped HP. To like 10 health.
He hit that shot. Now he's got to rotate away.
He's looking. He's hunting.
Saf is hunting him down. At this point, probably realizes based on the last few games that he might own this area now, so he can take his time if he's not going to get too aggressive push. Nick Merckx, is this a Nick Merckx versus Aiden in this stairwell yet again?
I don't know. Aiden, the last we saw was at Tacos. Nick, 200 HP, gets tagged to 38 right there. Wondering if he'll pop this slurp. The way that the ramps are being used right now, I'm assuming it is Aiden because Aiden uses them in the same way as kind of a layered defense that quickly edits them. It's not Aiden this time.
Who's been landing here consistently as well. Illchase, actually, I think this is the first time he's come to Tilted. He landed, I believe, Greasy or Salty last game.
Yeah. There's 4 players nearby right here. Aiden's in new building. There's 2 right next to Nick. Oh, that grenade blows up the cover. Nick hears the big tags. Won't push it as of yet. You look at the elim feed, Poach with an elimination. Nick, the quick shots. There's 1 elim for Nick, still at full HP as the crowd gets behind him. Absolutely a fan favorite here in the Fortnite Summer Skirmish. As the Nick Merckx chant begins, Aiden and Nick Merckx are again in the same building. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for round 3. The first 2 games, Aiden eliminated Nick Merckx. Can Nick get vengeance here as Aiden's actually going to fall back?
This is Animal, one of our top performers, I believe, from day 2. He dropped a 10 bomb in a single game.
Sneaking on up, hunting his prey. Says, I'm the animal here today, my friend. As he cuts him down, a quick burst.
Back to Tilted, Nick Merckx.
I mean, how do we not watch this?
You have to.
Yeah,
you have to.
This is fantastic.
Like, Static is still the 3rd player in this engagement, and I believe they all know that they're in there. They're watching. They're looking to see who's going to make a move first, maybe catch somebody rotating or not watching out a window. Tilted is very, very, you're exposed. There are so many angles because all the different windows and the positions you can see through them. That's why we've seen Aiden peeking through windows with those builds on the outside, just trying to take shots and use the pillars in the middle as like a separator. It's natural cover. Morgoss. C4 from a 3rd opponent there, gets the shots from above, almost gets the elimination, gets one. Ooh. As Flower from Rogue goes down, Morgoss pushing down, trying to get the double. He sees this player rotating around the outside. He had just been dealing HP damage. There it is. Takata goes down as well, gets 2 eliminations. 1 more means a point. Back in Tilted, Courage. These guys, they're gonna go after each other here. They have to. There's no way. There we go.
There it is again. I mean, this is what it's all about, folks. Nick versus Aiden. Aiden 2, Nick 0 so far in the fights. I know Nick has family here watching, a lot of people this weekend wanting to see how he can perform. This is probably, Nick has had such a long competitive history in esports. This is probably the biggest tournament he's ever been in, and here it is, the battle again. We've seen this before. Here it goes, round number 3. Aiden peeking the corner. It's Nick building the ramps. Aiden getting the wall in front, just to trying to make sure he's covered and can have some quick edits on out. There's another close ramp. Expect a quick rotation on it. He's going to
footsteps. He knows Nick rotated up top.
Yeah. Nick's got the high ground now, and I think he'll kind of reset to the top of this new building. There is still ecstatic just standing still in the big gray building.
If you don't move, they can't hear you, Jack.
Both these players so healthy in this fight. The last time we saw Aiden versus Nick, it was Nick with only 100 HP. I believe there's a slight health advantage for Aiden at the moment. Probably about 10 HP difference. 14 HP, I think, is exact. But Nick is back in big gray where there is still ecstatic hiding behind one of these doors.
You notice he hasn't even moved. He's barely turning and not even really weapon swapping. I think ecstatic at this point knows that both Nick and Aiden are here. He's waiting for this fight to play out. And Nick, you see, he's looking around the corner. He's watching and saw the rotation. He's going to try and get a top-down surprise here. Maybe drop in the shotgun coming out. Shotgun and then swap to the dualies. You can hear him moving around underneath. The audio tracking these players. It's just...
Ecstatic is close by Nick right now. He's like right behind one of these walls. Back over to Poach, though. We've got to show some love to the other players, too. Poach trying to build on up. Still a little bit of a fight. One player just below him right now. Mighty bank. I love this. Banking the frag grenades off the wall. They'll fall right at the bottom of the structure, and here comes the build battle. Poach trying to keep up. Actually gets pyramided by the opponent over his own build, and Povsy cuts down Landjock. That's Povsy's third elim of this game.
Spray from that blue, the blue drum gun, one of the most favored weapons we've seen in scrimmage, competitive games.
Poach wants
very low. Poach has got to push.
Poach wants this fight. He's hunting right now. Poach for his second elim of the game. Can he break through this structure? Povsy just trying to heal with this campfire. Poach wants this player dead. Can he get the high ground? The pyramid blocked for the moment.
He heard that sound of the his opponent hitting the dirt down there. He knows he dropped all the way down. He's going to take advantage of that and drop in. He's going for the replace every single time, but Povsy's blocking it repeatedly. He's trying to put down the pyramids, the ceilings, anything to stop Poach from getting in and taking advantage of the low HP. And what that does is Poach still knows he has an opportunity to be aggressive. He knows Povsy must be missing a lot there. And the rotation out, it looks like.
Povsy just ran it out. Wait, this was Nick Merckx. Low on HP, in a little bit of a fight. How does it end here?
Ecstatic
eliminating Nick. And you see, oh my God, the frustration there. We were saying Ecstatic was hiding in that build for so long. Nick Merckx with an early exit yet again.
It looks like the player that Poach took shots at that was to his southeast might have been a third player in there. He catches the edit there, takes ownership of the ceiling and gets Povsy as he's trying to back out.
Very patient from Povsy. You got to, sorry, from Poach there. Never went into Povsy's build. He knew he had time, and he still has the launch pad to get away.
Like you said, Povsy did have 3 eliminations. That's a single point for him. Nice actually right now has 3 elims. Morgas has 3 elims, and Blue T has 3. That's a single point for each of them. Feel really good about that. Looking forward to the rest of the day. A number of players still alive. Saf, Poach, and Ecstatic all
Jack
sitting on 2.
Jack might just died in the zone. Jack might just died in the zone. No. There's
Ranger
the quick elim.
Securing that elimination. We actually watched Ranger in his qualifiers do quite a bit of solid gatekeeping of the river.
Yep.
It's good to see him get an engagement here on the storm and still win as well.
And it begins. The little structures, the little huts, the 1x1s. It has started. Minigun, though, being sprayed into Kayun, who's dropped all the way down to the side of this mountain. Dremin is close by as well. Who's that spraying? Babe Jesus, I believe, from Tempo Storm. Oh, nope. Rip to go. He's out of there. He wants to follow this up right away.
He's going for it. Drops in. Not a whole lot of HP, but he's playing very aggressively. I think the thought is that minigun would have torn through his opponent's materials, thinking he can't layer up against me anymore. So, a heavy shotgun right into the drum gun, that back and forth combo, and players like Vape Jesus are going to be really good at timing their shots on that. He can get the elimination if he pushes. He can catch this player unable to build. Replays Bizzle, Wheats, Jay Cuddy all hanging out north side of Fatal Fields, very populated. A lot of those angled stairs. Yeah, we've seen that before. When you see players do that, Jack, what are they doing with that?
Well, basically, the way you're running, so you don't have to lose your momentum with your sprint. You angle the stairs to basically block the area that the shots are coming in from. You use it as cover. You're not having to awkwardly jump back and forth and swap and spin around. It's just kind of a clean way to build right across. It uses kind of the least amount of materials too. Aiden's still in this, going to bounce pad and try to follow up his opponent. That's itzJuanma who actually eliminated Nick Merckx. I think Aiden say, hey, that's my job so far today. I want vengeance now, my friend, as he'll fall on down and reset the fight.
Klinger's potentially pushing him out there. He's looking for a better opportunity and any materials. He's very low right now for this time in the game. A minute 30 remaining before the next circle. He's going to go for his jump shot here, but his opponent itzJuanma walling off against him, just preemptively defending himself, knowing Aiden is very accurate up close, trying to get an angle. That little peek, look at the little hole he's trying to take shots through. Aiden might have to layer up the other side right now, but he's not going to. He's going to go for the shot and then block it off. Any sort of like, just take that single second, that millisecond almost, and get the shot. So you see itzJuanma, he knows the hole's still there, knows Aiden's still underneath. Just kind of pacing his engagement. Just the right timing is going to be key here. Here it comes. Aiden low materials pushing in the shot on itzJuanma, and Aiden gets the elimination.
And that would have been for 3 limbs if itzJuanma could have gotten it. Aiden's still so healthy in this fight. That is 3, and what's this? A chug jug!
Looks like at that point, Aiden started to build to defend. There might be another player pushing in. The FPS from CLG takes Tendons out just south of Salty Springs. Yes, we saw some of those. Yeah, apparently secured his second elimination, 1 away from a single point, and he is sitting on quite a few spray weapons today. It's an LMG, which you don't see too often, but players up close, that thing tears him up. He's got Blue T above him, who may not realize, but look at Blue T's materials. Over 2,000. He has so many builds. He's got a blue drum gun.
Decent.
Guess it's time to use them. Usually you see those saved for late games. They're very good at dropping structures, especially when the players are playing slow. He's going for the trap.
Oh. Just lost the high ground at a moment's notice, and yeah, he immediately loses it, falls right back down. Not sure exactly who he's battling right here, down to just 39 HP, though, how quickly it all ends, and now he's in the low gravity zone.
I believe that's Blue T's in a 1v1 against right now. Blue T's going around to the rotation, south side of the tree, using the tree as cover, misses the shot. He's got to defend right now, 6 HP.
I think he knows the end is near. Blue T hunting his opponent. He might just die to the zone.
He's got bandages, and it's not ticket for enough necessarily to beat it. If he popped the bandage early, you see it, yeah, FPS going for that bandage. Every little bit counts. Blue T saying, I'm waiting. I haven't seen you in the feed to the storm yet. The third player, somebody watching from a distance, taking shots. Nice gets Amon's in the feed. 20-meter snipe shot, very close range snipe shot. Blue T, 3 eliminations. 39 players remaining, 20 seconds till the zone finishes. And it's going to be time to mix it up a little bit more. Goss right now sitting on 4 eliminations. Nice with 4 eliminations. Blue T at 3, Aiden at 3, Saf at 3. All 5 of those players still alive, and points for each of them.
The FPS just lost to the storm, so there it goes. Blue T not able to get that a limb. Is already at 3 though, so can't be too upset. Here's a look at your full scoreboard. A lot of players at the top still in this. As we say it, actually Nice gets dropped. You see live right there. But Aiden still at 3. His teammate in Ghost Saf still alive. Poach is at 2. Nate Hill is at 2. Some big names at the top of these scoreboards right now.
Now, hopefully before too long, there's a number of players we haven't had our eyes on too much. Just the feed has been quiet with them. Players like Tfue, who I was literally about to say his name, and lo and behold, here we are. You got a top down on QUIÉN. Now, if he's been watching the feed from previous games, he's seen QUIÉN has eliminated a number of high caliber players with ease almost. Poach, Chap, a lot of big names.
Replays as well.
Replays, yeah, exactly. I would be concerned if you know you run into him.
Quick little spray from Morgoth there. So many materials. And 4 limbs, 3 medkits. Morgoth is everything you could ever ask for. You see, just on your screen alone, Bizzle, 72 hours, Chap. Here's replays at maxed HP.
Here's
Here's an update on Aiden where he stood up to this point. Oh my gosh.
Heavy shot from Snood there, taking advantage of the swap to the SMG to spray Aiden down. Still comes away with 3 eliminations, though. That's 3 points total on the day, so he's well ahead of many other players. And he does have half the games left today, Courage.
Absolutely.
Morgas looking for his 5th to secure a 2nd point. Would put him at 4 total for the day. 2 behind our current leader, C9 Blind, who was eliminated very early this game. Don't forget, 94th place with a single elimination. Cryo and Nate Hill taking shots at each other. Nate knows he's got him on the outside. Just did damage, knows there's no shield left. That's why Nate's pushing. And the Portafort might actually catch Cryo off guard. He's looking for a rotation here. Gets the shot, and Cryo goes down.
And those are the shots you just have to hit. He's got an opportunity to snap with that heavy shotgun.
The prize of a golden double barrel.
Oh, he gets everything. He gets the drum gun, the gold double barrel, legendary double barrel. Here's Cryo again against Nice. There's the cleanup there. That was his first elim of the game. Here's Tfue and Nate Hill, teammates on FaZe Clan. Might be a fight coming here soon between the two of them.
Wait and see here. He's got a hunting rifle, double barrel. This is actually a pretty common setup for a player like him. I would almost drop the hunting, and if he got a scope AR, we've seen it in his hands so many times in previous summer skirmishes. You can hear the fight underneath him, the shield. He knows the player just got eliminated. It might be time to go for a push here.
Yep. Tfue just trying to spot. He's got multiple frag grenades to use. Banking them, unfortunately for him, does drop down on top of that structure, which, yeah, that was definitely not his plan. Now it's time to begin to launch. He's in, oh my gosh, down to just 19 HP, and again, he'll have to fall on back.
Getting caught tunnel visioning with those grenades, not really moving too much. We've even mentioned other players kind of wiggling back and forth. Even if you're doing something like dropping frag grenades down below, you're going to get punished when players are watching every single structure. Knowing somebody's up there, they're going to take shots at every opportunity they can. And Tfue was kind of caught off guard. Like I said, tunnel visioning, not necessarily your best friend in a situation like this.
You have to think the end must be near. Whoa!
A look of disappointment.
Doing his best impression of Tim the Tatman there as he falls to a swift death. Away the road.
A very wide angle shot here. You have a ton of players hanging out at very close quarters. This is going to be a theme for today. People are going for placement, knowing full well that if you get the top 10, that is even just a single point that can mean the difference between 21st through 100th for 5K and pushing into the larger prize pools. Plus, knowing the Victory Royale is $25,000. That buffer is insane. Saf with 5 elims already, 2 points. And the Rockets are going to come in and kind of chase him out of the structure he's built up, but he's going to layer back up. You see even putting floors and ramps down to reinforce anything he's sitting in. That heavy sniper, I'd love to see just an edit, like a window edit, a quick peek and a body shot on somebody for an elim from Saf here. He's got the accuracy to do it. The zone's starting to push the remaining players in. Saf, the only one with 5 eliminations right now in this game. Snood sitting on 3 and a very close combat fight. He's taking, like we've seen this a bunch of times, every opportunity for these players, every second.
He has 18 explodes to use right now. 95 health in total, just staying alive, waiting on out.
Now might be the time to use those. Go for any knockdown you can get right now. Especially the higher up structures, stuff that might be connected to only 1 or 2 things outside of the storm.
Oh,
look at the window shot.
Right into the window. Will it inflict any damage? No, I think there was a quick edit by the player inside that 1-by-1. Saf, 5 elims, top 25 right now. He has the heavy sniper as well. Here's a look from the top down. Sam all the way up top. Saf using another bounce pad to try to move towards this next zone. This time he gets clipped. Looking at our scoreboard right now on our screen, Morgas still alive with only 4 limbs. What I mean by 4 is he hasn't moved up to that top 5 quite yet. Nate Hill at 3, Poach still at 2, and Geomock just got his first elim on the blue tee.
Here we go. The storm's starting to move. We got 23 seconds until it finishes, and now's the time. Everybody, you can see even through these materials get placed down as they're building. They're kind of see-through still, and you can see just silhouettes of players moving every direction. Tempo even down low, going for a bounce pad just to push as fast as he can away from an engagement that he knows he's not going to win. He does have the Portafort. Look at the layer of players to the left side, middle left side of your screen. There's so many in one spot. You know these guys are going to run into each other in some way. It depends on who gets the shot on off first. There's so much movement, and traps right now, Courage, are going to be incredible. You heard one place down, because you can catch players rotating through structure. You don't even know. Chap.
Chap.
Headed down, drops down with foot layers above himself.
I think, is that Chap on the other side of this wall?
You see more silhouettes. He's got the Porta-Fort out, maybe thinking about putting it down to try and get a drop on somebody above, knock everything down. Gonna take ownership of this.
Look at the zone. Everyone hugging that close side, getting ready to move. 10 seconds away. Remember, top 20 earn a point. And you're not happy with something you just saw. What was it?
The ridiculousness of this position it's terrifying to think. Half of the players are going to go down, most likely during this rotation. And here we go. People flying through the air. Nate Hill getting laser, landing outside the zone, ticking, and that's going to be all she wrote for Nate. Too far into the storm, and takes literally all it took was 2 ticks.
Yep.
All it took was 2 ticks.
Rip to go. Someone going to the high ground. I think Rex just got eliminated by a trap. You see Chap still with under 20 HP. Tempo with 2 limbs. This could be the difference between 2 points and 0 right now. If he can make it to the top 10 or find the next elimination. Sam has not left this high ground at all. Only 1 rocket to his name. He's got to use this wisely. 13 players still left. Who will secure the victory royale and $25,000? Tempo's got nothing left right now. He's just hoping, Lupo, that he can make it in the top 10. A switch on over now to Ghost Fizzle. He's got 1 limb, but a ton of healing in his inventory. 10 minis and a slurp. And
a ton of times gets tapped a little bit in there, but he has an opportunity to capitalize on this. Morgoth secures his 5th elimination. That's 2 points. Chad making a move, super low HP, and goes down on the move right there. That rotation is going to be tough. Everybody's moving simultaneously. 5 players left, Courage.
72 hours eliminates base soldier. Geomach dies to the storm. Poach is out of materials. He can no longer build. He's hoping people have to drop on down. Morgoth now at 6 limbs, 1 away from earning the 7th, which would be another point for him. You see he's on a low level near Poach. Poach will wind up trapping all these levels as people try to drop down towards him. 10 seconds until the zone begins to close. He's got bandages to work with, but it's going to come down to a heal up, I believe, ladies and gentlemen. Who will make it out on top? Poach trying to take matters into his own hands. The storm slowly closing. 19 seconds, 18 seconds, 17 seconds. The fight's just a layer above Poach. He cannot even build up that 72 hours. His teammate getting dropped. Morgoth trades the limb. That's his 7th. Morgoth has a med kit. Sam has nothing to heal with. They've made it to the top 3. Morgoth has a chance to have a 6-point game himself to match that of Blind. Who will out-heal the most? Morgoth with another med kit. Sam dropping on down, trying to spray. Morgoth in the 1v1. Will he get the perfect game? He does. Morgoth with the victory. And look at the hype. 7 limbs and the victory royale. Back-to-back 6-point games. Blind, then Morgoth. And is he phasing up? All right, fine. I guess he's like, Banks, send over the contract.
We see you. He's waiting.
Send over the contract, please.
Like you said, back-to-back 6-point games. And we only had 1 during the entirety of the heats of the qualifiers.
Does the back of his sweatshirt say 1v1 me playground? That is incredible.
It's a DM I get from you quite often, Kurt.
It is. But either way, congratulations to Morgoth. $25,000 richer. A 6-point game. And I think that moves him up to the top spot today as well.
Based on the previous 2 games, if I recall, he had 2 points. That makes a total of 8 for him over the course of 3 games. And we're only halfway done.
We are only halfway done.
But he's in an incredible spot. $25,000 richer as well. That's got to feel good.
Most certainly, I can promise you that. The man just moved right up the scoreboard. What a performance from everybody there. Poach tries to get it done towards the end. You see, can't out-heal that zone. Not as good as a med kit, but we've got some replays to look at first, starting with none other than Ghost Aiden. I think he secured himself another point that game with 3 limbs. This was the quick beam of the drum gun. 52 headshot damage with that crit. Back-to-back, just shreds his opponent. This was that 2nd limb onto Ecstatic. That's the player who actually eliminated Nick Merckx in the game. And then here, swaps around. Nibs falls to his death as well.
One of the best controller players. I mean, there's no argument here. Aiden has established himself extremely dominant and tilted.
Yep.
But that's not the only indication. We saw multiple engagements there at the bridge to the far south along the river, and he's able to hit his shots. Very fast edits. One of the best players we've seen thus far, and he continues to show that whether he makes it towards the top 10 or not, he's racking up eliminations and very, very aggressive top-down gameplay.
Oh, for sure. And that's what it's all about. We also have a little highlight from Nate Hill. His game ended in quite an awkward way as he went to go bounce pad, but if you remember, he was actually the one to cut down C9 Blind at Fatal Fields right off the break of the game. And then this was the shot with the heavy shotgun. Look at this as he snaps onto his opponent. Actually, oh, we just missed it, but either way, he snapped. But then that's the bounce pad. It took him much further than I think he was hoping, and as he was going, he gets sprayed down, and the frustration there. Yeah, and the eye roll and everything.
The only option, I think, in a situation like that, you saw the trajectory he was taking. He could have put a wall up on his left and attached it to what was there and then immediately turn and put one in front of himself to stop. But it's so fast. You're moving so quickly through the air. And the trajectory, like you said, when the zone's moving, you've got players shooting at you from every direction. This is hindsight. I mean, in the situation,
for sure,
he tried to do everything that he could.
You know, coming into this weekend, two of the most winningest players of the summer skirmish up to this point, Vivid and Liquid Poach, were the two that I had my eyes on. Poach actually this game puts up some heavy limbs to earn himself a point. Did he get 5? He might have gotten 2 points.
Very fast edits.
A lot going on.
That ramp block versus opponents, they're pushing up Giant right there, and then immediately editing. It's almost as if some of the reaction speeds, he knows that his opponent is going to react to being blocked off and turn away very quickly. And so he edits almost instantly after placing the ramp and takes a shot as soon as he can.
And this was him hoping to out-heal. This is where you just kind of cross your fingers. You see everyone in the background watching his perspective. Look at all those faces.
A tactic we've seen from some players too. These heal-offs at the end might seem like you're just spam clicking to see what you can get off in time, but the fact that he had 75 HP right there means he had to wait until he took a tick of storm damage to pop the first bandage. He could have healed just a little bit ahead of time if he had anything less than 75, and that could have made all the difference in the world.
Unfortunately for him, his game did end there. You saw, look at the crowd, very comfortable here in the bean bags in the Fortnite tent booth, whatever you call it. Either way, though, Morgoss, our new overall leader, I can confirm right now, just secured the Victory Royale, the full 6-point performance, $25,000 richer. He's on the floor with Zeke.
Just trying to get the 4-1-1 on the new grappler item. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Morgoss. Come on over, dude. I'm getting word you are now the overall leader. So not only do you get all the eliminations, you get the 6 points, the victory out, 25K, and the overall leader. Dude, how are you feeling?
I'm shaking right now, honestly. I can't believe it. I mean, I've been practicing for 5-6 months now, and it's just a crazy feeling to finally pay off, you know?
I mean, so what was practice like leading up to this? Was it just, you know, how many hours a day? What were you doing? Were you running scrims?
Yeah, it's the professional scrims. It's probably around 10 to 12, maybe even 14 hours a day. But I think the biggest thing, the hardest part for me was sacrificing time with my family to practice and be the best.
I mean, but obviously this paid off, right? Sure, you sacrificed time, but then you show the world, guys, I'm Morgoss, hello, 25K here at finals. I mean, how do you think your family's feeling after watching you do this?
They're crazy. They're crazy for it, I know. I wouldn't be here without them, for sure. They sent me out, they flew me. They've been supporting me for a few years now. It's a great feeling to finally make them proud, you know?
Now, what do you got to say to all the new fans that you've just made around the world, dude?
Phase up.
Best of luck, Morgoss. We'll see you in the upcoming games. Courage, Lupo.
They got it. They got it figured out. He might be doing well with in-game, but apparently still needs to learn how to have a handshake.
12 times the charm, Jack. Takes a little while. It's okay.
It's okay.
You hear him, too, basically calling Banks out right now, saying phase up.
No, he's going to keep plugging phase and get every opportunity.
Time that he can.
You guys have open rooms out there in Los Angeles? I'm trying to move it.
I can appreciate the hunger. Well done.
Oh, it's fine. He'll drop Cloaksy. It's okay. But either way, we've got our standings update for everybody at home. There you go. the man right there at the top, tying the limbs of Blind, but he's got 2 more points. Nate Hill, frustrating into that last game, but he's still in third. Sap and Aiden, both top 8. Still Poach with that performance moves into the top 8 there as well. And Liquid Champ, top 10.
You take a look, even the top 10 right here, 3 Ghost players representing Ghost Gaming. It's crazy to see how just recruiting for some of these teams, they're so good at it, spotting players that they know are going to perform well. They put on basically a clinic on how to perform in competitive games, and all these teams got to be feeling good about the placement right now.
Now remember, 21st through 100th all get $5,000. It's the top 20 who then have those incremental, is that a word? Incremental?
It is.
Yeah, it is. Increases in how much they pay out. All eyes on that. Who will be in that 20th spot? Who will be able to earn some of those bigger numbers? We are just halfway done with the action. I've been looking at some of the numbers watching online. It is absurd, the support right now for the finale of the Summer Skirmish. Hashtag Summer Skirmish. Get involved in the conversation online. Halfway through today, thoughts so far of the matches we've seen?
You're seeing players play much more reserved than they have the previous days. And the reason is, I mean, I can't blame them. There's $1.5 million on the line, and because leaderboard placement, top 10 is a point, they're going for that every single time. It is crazy how close together players are ending up. We've had some wide-angle shots of some of these areas that you lose count of how many people are stuck inside there, and I have a feeling we're going to see it again here in just a second, Jack, because the bus is prepping to launch. If you're here at PAX West, make some noise.
Here we go.
Game 4.
Crowd getting behind it. You love to hear it. Here we go. Reminder, yes, through the qualifiers, we only played 4 games a night. Today, though, the grand final, we play 6, so there is still a ton of Fortnite action to come. Who will secure that top spot and walk away with the majority of that $1.5 million prize pool? There is our winner from Game 3, the perfect performance, 6 points to move all the way up that leaderboard. Morgos.
Now, during his qualifier, a number of times we saw him at 2 eliminations and just outside of the top 10. We watched him at one point try and track down, I believe, 3 different players going for that elimination and couldn't secure it. So right now, showing up, getting all 6 points in a single game has got to be incredible. Dropping in on that blue suppressed SMG, getting a pump action shotgun, and he's got a player in front of him already. He's going to get aggressive. The taps from a distance, only 9 damage because of the damage drop off the SMG. It's definitely not an AR, but it's still put up numbers. Going to go for another push here, moving around the outside, and no materials, which means it's all about placement right now and trying to catch his opponent off guard. He's going to drop in and go for. You heard the chest open, gets the shot against the wall, but misses, but it still can secure the elimination on Takata. Very good up close engagement.
That's the type of fight that you need to take early on, which is why I think he's seeing so much success, right? He knows he's got the shotgun and the swap weapon, which already gives him the tools to win an up-close fight. Nick Merckx back and tilted. Only 2 gray pistols, 158 HP. That's Gyron from Misfits just above him.
Looks like Barnology is in the back right corner there. I believe that's the taco building.
3 gray pistols. Cool.
And a
Nick
green.
has 4 pistols right now on the ground. Did he just miss a shotgun?
No, he left the pistol behind. In the corner there might have been a shotgun. He rotated past it pretty quickly. Going for the chest, though.
Oh, no.
Not bad, but he doesn't have a close-up weapon.
Not really what he wants right now.
Misfits looking for him. Gonna track him on the outside. This could be tough.
He's got the remote explosives. He wants this fight at the moment. He hears the fences being opened, and Aiden is still kind of hunting in Big Red with full HP.
I would almost bet if Gyron can get this boogie bomb off on his opponent, if he tracks Nick Merckx down, he's going to drop the C4 right on top of him and pop it at the same time.
No, Nick's got to keep just disengaging until he finds a better weapon. There you go.
There we go.
He's got something now. Oh, there's a blue pump right there, too. So he'll get the max health with that slurp. People still nearby. Anything good from the chest? To see later on.
Brandon over here, retail, the west side. He's sitting on, honestly, kind of a similar loadout. Only a pistol for his kind of mid to long range engagements. He had a hunting rifle as well. WBG's Ranger in retail, not too far away. This is Brandon just moments ago here in retail row before he started rotating up, going for the shot and gets it. Catches Sakaris off guard, 86 damage, body shot, but it's enough to secure that elimination. Aiden.
I think this is what you think it is, folks.
Same spot.
Aiden versus Nick Merckx again. It never ends. Aiden trying to claim some walls. Nick weakened. On the other side, Aiden in the 2 battles so far has come out on top. Him and Nick dancing back and forth. The ramp edits trying to just keep the drop on Nick to maybe get a shotgun shot off. He wants to chase this fight down. He knows he's got the health advantage on him as he continues to be max HP in every fight he has with Nick. Does get tagged up once, dropped to twice now. Over to 152, here's the fight again. I believe this is Nick, tags him with the headshot. Shields down on both sides, stink bombs being used now. As I think Nick is gonna retreat as both players look to mini back up.
These guys, that move right there is one that's super common.
Never ends, these guys just keep going at it.
A little triangle to pop out those windows, super common in that building, and both players know it, which means that every floor kind of has exits, no matter where they are. He's going back inside. This is just relentless back and forth between these two guys, and they're going to keep going for it. He's going to use that as a way to try and locate.
Nick got a huge tag. Nick's going for it. Nick's going. Oh, he falls right back down. Once he missed that second pump, he falls right back down. I believe both players so similar in HP. Yeah, Nick's actually getting shot in the back by Misfits Gyred and beamed instantly by Aiden with that AR. And that gives Nick, and Nick already knew, but that gives Nick full confirmation of who's nearby him. He knows it's Aiden 100%, no doubt. They are on the same level right next to each other.
Back and forth around the stairs, every angle. It's cat and mouse in here. They're both trying to find that one spot.
He's blocked himself.
Blocked himself out. The jump and edit back inside. Another player sniping in, but Aiden sneaks into the window. The snipe isn't relevant anymore because it's Aiden versus Nick.
I can't tell if that shot gonna actually connect or not. I can't tell right now.
Another stink bomb trying to get any tag he can on Nick, even himself apparently. The rotation through there is trying to catch
Nick is getting
guard.
so low. Those stink bombs have chunked away so much HP. He's down to just 99 health. Aiden still hunting from above.
Only 4 builds left too, which means Nick can't defensively play against him too much inside here. He's got to go for it soon. And here we go, 93. The shield shot, and Aiden catches him off guard.
Did Nick just swap to the wrong weapon and he claps?
Are you kidding me? I don't know what to say here, Courage.
Look at this 3-0, baby. I hear from the crowd as Aiden has yet to lose a fight versus Nick. And you thought Nick had the full advantage, but it looked like he messed up his swap or something because he just stood there and Aiden said, hey, friend, good stuff. But unfortunately, we've had 3 battles and I've won every single one.
Rangers still back over here at retail. Is a wide angle shot in your top right just to kind of show you where these players are against each other, what Ranger has in front of him. And there's quite a bit of built up structure here. We'll have to find out if he has ownership of a lot of this or not. He doesn't necessarily know. You saw he was looking all the way up top trying to track Brandon, thinking he's top of that wooden 1x1, but potentially little does he know Brandon dropped down already. He's going to keep checking, taking shots in, just kind of trying to, it's like trying to flash a flashlight over some bugs, get him to run out from the structure, see if we can watch Brandon on the move. Maybe doesn't realize here at Retail Row, Psalm is also on the far east side of the blacktop buildings, the stores. Ranger go for any materials he can. Even on the move here, might be mid-engagement, but it doesn't necessarily matter. Now blind, Tfue, look at this 1v1. Shots from Tfue, gets a couple accurate ones in the long range double barrel, 7 HP remaining. He's got bandages to patch up.
Sigh of relief, I think.
Solid 1v1. Aiden right now, by the way, the only player in this game with more than 1 elim. He's sitting on 2. A score of 3 total over the course of the day today. Tyler is someone we've seen put on a good show in the past. We interviewed earlier today, and he's had a few rough rounds. I'm hoping here, southwest side of Shifty, he can make some plays. Flower in the feed, getting Reigns knocked down back to Aiden and tilted. Looking for his 3rd elimination, Courage. Maybe tracking Coop Train on the rotation out there next to Loot Lake. All the materials he can gather. He's not sitting on a whole ton either. Is this a fight? A push outside. This is the far southeast corner past Paradise. Rifts actually spawn basically off the cliff out here, and players will use that as a way to rotate back into the zone if they're forced to. Flower, by the way, picking up his 2nd elim. Another player now at 2 eliminations. Cryo and Top Boy flying past each other. Almost like a synchronized swim maneuver there. Morgoth picking up an elimination, our winner last round on Jack. The Top Boy gets the shot on Cryo. Both low HP.
And a Klinger actually would have eliminated Top Boy right there if he stuck him once, but couldn't actually connect. This is STDX Vide. Close range, build fight there. Triz tries to go for the quick edit, but not able to snap fast enough. Nate Hill in the elimination feed again with another elim. He's already top 5 today. Rogue 00 Flower, our first player this game to reach 3 eliminations. He was already, I think, top 12 in the scoreboard of standings as well.
Prodigy Aces looking for a shot. Those little boxes. Put himself inside a shack. Where his opponent is over there. Aiden back here still untilted. Gets the shot and takes another elimination. That's number 3 for the game. Puts him at a single point. This one. A stack on top that puts him at 4 total for the day. Nate Hill also tied at 4 points total for the day thus far. Like tempo here. Gonna make some moves. Low HP, barely any shield. He's got bandages. He's gonna take an opportunity while his opponent here, Boyer, isn't necessarily pushing. XD.
Oh, that player with the nade launcher.
Almost
just
eating an explosion there, yeah. He's right next to the cube, which means shield is actually getting added to him. But his opponent, Turkeylips up top, knows if you shoot the cube, it lashes back out at whoever is closest.
Yes.
Turkeylips knows his opponent is sitting right on top of it, so if he shoots it, even though he's the one dealing damage, the cube is going to lash out at the player basically sitting on top of him.
Again, when they're near it, they're gaining some shield. First time we've really seen the cube come into play so far today.
I actually didn't even realize it was this far over. It's in Shifty Shafts now.
Yep. As it continues to maneuver around the map, still wondering what it even means. Probably something regarding Season 6, but who knows. It looks like players will begin to have to move towards this middle island. Just outside Fatal Fields. This is a Hysteria on the opposite side of the map. Quick double barrel.
First elimination. He gets it on EMAT, his first elimination this game. WBG's Punisher dropping the clingers down there. As soon as those start to detonate, like you said earlier, they drop down now once the structure that they were attached to disappears. Previously, they used to instantly explode. You'd see players throw the clingers at like a wall that they see someone hiding behind, shoot the wall out, and then it would instantly detonate. Not anymore. They drop down like gravity's pulling them down. He's looking for shots. Actually gets the elimination on Rogue's 00 Flower inside this box. Picks up all the loot. There's a handful of med kits in there. Yeah,
look at his materials.
Hopefully he grabs the 3rd med kit. Maybe he didn't realize that there was one sitting there. He's only carrying 2
Max
currently.
wood, max brick, 800 metal is what he currently had. Aiden, another engagement. He's got to move forward.
Bounce pad, go for it. He missed the build. Going for the bounce pad, play to fly cross. Almost perfectly. Are you kidding me?
And he actually gets the little benefit of the boost. He's going to land right on his opponent. He wants to keep the pressure on.
That box inside, though, he's going to have to smash his way out. Nobody owns these walls, so he's got to take an opportunity to melee those down. Gets caught underneath his own surface. Looks like he tried to build a floor and jump up. He almost went for the edit. Didn't get it off the time. Goes to the edit on that outside wall. He's trying to drop down underneath. Probably heard the rockets coming and reacted, thinking they're headed towards him no matter what, so it's time to build away. Trying to edit his way out. Change the angle against his opponent. Always kind of mix it up. You never want to repeat it. This is a good example of that. Goes for the shot in. A little clip in the shotgun. The LMG, a 52 in there, and gets the elimination on Train. The crowd going wild here. 40 HP. Player 3 is into the match. 9 HP remaining, and Mars Cities gets the elim and stops Aiden from hitting 5 elims. That would have been 2 points, but only 1 this game.
Finally gets shut down. What a build performance right there. Boltnaga throws a stink bomb in. And that one is smelling, and Tyler's just dies to it right away.
That, by the way, is our 2nd elimination over the course of the entire weekend. Week 8 of Summer Skirmish. 2nd elimination to stink bombs. I saw a stat online earlier. I said that 1 happened, I believe, in day 2 qualifiers. X's replays kind of bouncing back and forth next to each other. Spots, Bizzle rotating into the safe zone. Just kind of moving around, trying to track down anybody in these areas, looking through these builds. If there's anybody left alive here, if there's anybody watching, Replays wants to know where they are, and this looks like he is pretty alone here. But this wide angle shot, this is where the field starts to tighten up. You've got nobody right now that's currently alive with more than 2 eliminations. Diggy, Nate Hill, Punisher, and Wheels 960 all have 2 eliminations.
He doesn't have a lot to work with. I mean, look at his inventory.
He doesn't.
Thermal assault rifle, a gray SMG, and 5 bullets in a shotgun. He's going to get to a point where he kind of has to force something here soon. Here's our scoreboard of the players alive right now. No one remaining in the game has 3 elims yet. 3 eliminations, 2 eliminations, 3 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 eliminations, 3
shots from the side. He does have quite a few builds, at least for a little engagement right now. He could use the launch pad to fly away if there's any concern. And the shots coming in. He's going to have to try and build and defend against that. Over that edit to get out. Missing those edits, those fast edits like that, it can cost you if players are right on top of you. Imagine missing an edit like that, having to go for it a second time. Somebody's going to fall in and get an Elam on you if you're not watching.
That's how Diggy got a second.
Ranger outside the storm. No HP, no bandages, no med kit for Diggy, so he's going to take a little bit of damage. But coming away with an elimination of that, probably a good idea. It's it's a worthwhile trade.
Look at the high ground from Snood and Fulmer outside Fatal. Sam, the player launch pad, so he's just going to follow suit. He's got to be worried about the player up top. Uh-oh, down to just 48 HP. Should be safe for the moment. All he's got left is Brick. He's half in the low grab zone, half not.
Nibs literally in a box right next to him. He might not have realized he was getting shot from the player up top in the tower on top of the hill. He might not realize that Nibs is also hiding inside. I'm sure he saw the structure, and it's clearly one that has capacity to hold a player. There's no edits for anybody to come out of it, so I would almost assume he knows there's somebody's right there. Plus the footstep movement from Nibs right now. He's in a tight spot here, though. Low HP, not a ton of shield. He does have a gold double barrel. You see him with it out right there, and Nibs is the player up above him. They start a rotation.
Wow,
just gotta watch for each other.
Farico blocks Lassius as he looks to build on up. Look at the inventory. Drum gun, gold double, or the legendary double barrel, 3 remote explosives, Chug Jug 9 minis. But, you know, it's all great to have, but you got to live through the fight to be able to heal with it.
It's like he went for a double barrel shot and whiffed it just over the top. The bloom on those things, sorry, the spread pattern, how wide it is on the double barrel. Plus, we talked about the damage drop off of those things. You have to be in bludgeoning distance for it to be at max effectiveness, and his opponent was so far.
Aren't involved in this direct close fight.
I guarantee you, he wishes he had the time to get that Chug Jug off, but all he has is time for minis. His opponent underneath trying to pickaxe his way up through, gets the build, still owned that staircase. Lassius pays the price, gets caught off guard as the edit drop down. Quick double barrel shot. That thing in the same box, man. That thing's lethal.
That's a huge moment because that gives him the ability now to Chug Jug, assuming he's going to pick up that heavy sniper rifle. No real updates from Sam yet as he just is trying to stay hidden with how little health he has. Prodigy Ace is yet to get in the limb this game. He's top 43.
See Animal, I believe, in the webcam there on the right side watching from the side. Looks like he must have been eliminated earlier. I love how the players, they want to see everything that happens, so they'll watch every POV they can.
I mean, they're all so passionate about this game for a lot of these players involved. And I mean, you and I, this game's changed our lives. So you get involved here and you want to soak in it all and just enjoy the event. And look at our last real place of interest involved in the map is Fatal Fields. Nate Hill, third elim here would give him another point. And
almost went for it. By the way, you mentioned the third element for point. Punisher right now, the only one still left alive. Hit the shot.
Look at his reaction. No way, he says, as that player who was just in his sights soars on out. Nate, is this going to happen twice in a row?
Gotta know he's going to go for it.
Whiffs the shot there, tags some shields. He's only got 57 HP. Can't get the elim as well. The tree was weak. No follow-up. He's going to chase it. I think he's going to go for it. He's risking the game on this.
He's hungry for that third elimination. Securing the point would be pretty big. This would be point number 5 for him on the day.
He gets control of the wall.
His opponent building up the edit coming out the top. He's trying to get a top down on Nate.
Can't hit the shot.
Could not track Hysteria on the way down. 85 HP. Could have been a one shot from that heavy shotgun, but not enough. Missing the shot cost him that one. And the option there, Courage, you think going for it to try and get that third elim for a point was a good call? He wasn't sitting too high on HP. Maybe playing a little more secure and wait for your time to strike on somebody that isn't paying attention was a better call.
I don't mind it right there. You know, it's one of those things where everyone assumes the player's going to be so passive. He was hoping to maybe catch Hysteria off guard. It's also, he had no safe place to really go to. Everyone else was already set up and secured in the new zone. Marcity's just got blown up by remote explosives. That was Rico.
Horrify is actually sitting underneath. Yeah, he's not even moving. Horrify is right underneath Turkey Lips.
And he's just chilling for the moment. Here's Poach, his first limb of the game. He'll get a slurp juice off that, which will put him at maxed health. It's the perfect item to get. Punisher, replays, and Cease also nearby.
60 seconds left before the first time the circle's going to move. 30 players left on the field, so we've had far more players eliminated early this game compared to even the first and the second, which means this won't be as tight, as chaotic of a circle move, but it's still going to be crazy. 30 people left. There are 29 now in this size of zone is rough. Hysteria in your feed there, getting another elim there. That puts him at 3, which is a point. That's his second on the day. Farigo has 4 eliminations, leading the players that are still alive in this game, which is 1 point for him. Punisher with 3 as well. Nobody else alive but besides those 3 has 3 eliminations or more.
Strugs keeping the high ground. Punisher inching closer and closer to safety in this next zone. You see on the minimap, basically 1 block away. That'll probably put him as safe. He wants to claim all these walls so there can be no quick edit ins from his opponent. And he's still got 600 plus medals, so he's more than happy to do this. Is this ending in the low gravity zone? I think this is ending in the low gravity zone.
I believe it's about to push that way.
This is going to change how this entire final circle plays.
Players are going to have to be careful when they jump in this thing. You float much higher than typically you'd be used to, which means people that are going for shots on you while you're in the air, it's going to happen a lot. You might even see people, oh my gosh, the number of people that are jumping.
Oh my goodness.
What is happening?
Wait, what is happening?
Flying away in the air.
One of them's a shot. Wait, what is happening?
It looks like while they're in the zone, they're getting pushed up in the air. I've seen this a little bit online.
Wait, what is happening? The rune now flies you around? Even they don't know what to do. Look at this. What is going on? It's just floating them up and down.
Digging the feet didn't stick the landing, a 22-meter drop. You see them, they're going for literally anything. Players might try and catch themselves with builds.
Okay, no matter what, this is hysterical.
This hysteria going down on the feed. People are just taking SMG and rifle shots while flying through the air right now.
Wait, so is this how this low gravity field now works?
I've seen this a couple times, like videos on Twitter and stuff.
Do you activate this?
I don't know if this is...
What is happening? He's trying to box himself in. There you go. Okay.
Catches himself. He's. you see him put his hands up.
What is this zone right now? Oh, well, when I said it's going to change how this whole game is played,
you were more right than you realized.
I really was not expecting. He's now floating in this.
He has himself boxed in basically to catch himself. He could open up basically a line
low
across the top.
Gravity to no gravity. Poach is like, I'm going to sit outside this. Oh my goodness.
13 players. The storm's going to start to move, maybe saving players from kind of a confusing way to engage there. There's no way you practice for something like that. 13 people left, which means if 3 more go down, Poach picks up a point. If he gets 1 more elimination, Poach picks up a point. Might get one right here. The edit, the quick edit, takes a shot through, but couldn't secure that one. Does get a shield tag. 1 player more needs to go down, and then everybody, there it is. Rio secures the elimination on Farigo, who we were watching earlier, fly through the air.
We're in the top 10. Everyone remaining now has earned a point. This is where Poach is in his most comfortable zone. He's got a launch pad to use as well. Still enough materials to make some things happen.
I think I saw on the feed a 53-meter fall damage elimination. Somebody was taken out by that, which might have meant as they were rotating in, they didn't get ahead of the anti-grav zone. The reverse gravity zone, whatever you want to call it. That was ridiculous.
At this point, yeah, I think anyone was expecting that. Poach now top 7, inching every second closer and closer towards this next zone.
Poach taking shots out, trying to do anything he can just to try and get a tap here. Holding the edit. Looking outside, tendons rotating in right now. Sofa rotating in right now. Everybody's kind of on the move. Sofa might catch the opponent off guard. There's shots from the back. Poach tracks down his 3rd elimination, puts him in the top 5. 2 more going down will get him yet another point here. A shot through times. You saw him there. He's waiting, just holding ADS, waiting for the wall to go down. He's trying to sneak through this edit. Got to get through fast enough and does not make it down.
Oh, the storm
gets eliminated by the
once
storm.
more.
4 players left.
That was his 3rd. That'll give him a point. Remember, top 3 earn another point. Whoever drops next will be a heartbreaking way to go out. So we got eyes on tendons right now at the bottom of this hill. They'll have to move a little bit up. Sean was taken to above it, a snipe, 9 meters. 9 meters from Bowman to eliminate Sofa. 3 players left. He's got no materials, but he's got a med kit.
this point, he has the bounce pad. He's probably going to build one layer out and bounce his way down. If he's going to go for this, I don't think he could drop down just based on materials alone. A 1v1, drop it in. Sean going for it, takes a shot with shot. He gets it midair, 49-77, and misses Tendons with the trap play. Are you kidding me?
Tendons with the trap a limb. Like he's going for Twitter clips. Look at this. Tendons spams the walls. Oh.
That was his 5th elimination as well.
That ending of that game
a 5-point game
was one of the wackiest things ever, between the whatever the hell the zone was.
Welcome to Fortnite.
With the people floating around.
What do you say?
I have note cards. That's my notes after that one. That's where I stand.
What a game 4. We thought yesterday was insanity.
The weather's
Look at
nice
this.
out.
Yeah,
it's
gorgeous
nice, really
today
nice
here
out today.
Seattle. Yeah. I don't know what to do with my hands yet again.
Wow.
That was incredible. A trap play to finish.
Just throw up the replay. Just do it. We're all taking this in. This crowd, everyone just going nuts on the trap, going nuts on how it all ended. Here's Hysteria. Had that double barrel and just showed off its strength, close range. He's performed quite well today. I would say of all the days up to this point, this is definitely the best he's played. And, you know, he's been in the competitive gaming scene and at major tournaments for other esports for the last, well, decade plus. This man is no stranger to being in intense scenarios. There's the 3rd elim that gave him a point. You got to be happy if you're Hysteria, to say the least. Moving forward, anyone's game still. That's the beauty of it. We've seen from these 6-point performances, which have happened twice already today, as we pull up Farico's replays here, literally anyone can rise up these scoreboards in these final couple games.
It's funny you say rise up these scoreboards. We watch Farico floating in the air. These players literally going for SMG. That was Chap going down in the air. Swapping weapons, just going for replays, anything they can while they're up close on top of each other. He actually got multiple. It takes Horrify out as well as how he got to 6.
Oh my gosh.
Dropping rockets, he sees players boxing themselves up, but at that point, if anybody has secured themselves kind of a chamber to sit inside, they can just take shots at him as he's flying. But what, Jack, what? There was a point in time when players first started to get used to boxing each other in, maybe early in season 1 and 2, where they were going for these you know, YouTube clip kind of plays where they put the walls down and trap them in. He does it in the middle, literally in the middle of the final week of summer scrimmage.
That was 5th elim too, so that actually put him at a 5-point game by himself right there. Not the full 6, but still, if you're Tendons right now, you just put yourself in a great spot to win a lot of prize money today.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He's got to be feeling, like you said, $25,000 just for that win alone.
Yep.
And probably a solid high five for a trap elimination to win the game, to be honest.
Yeah, you don't win any extra money for that. But I believe we have Zeke. Oh, this is beautiful. This is going to be
one
incredible.
for everybody.
Zeke has Aiden and Nick Merckx.
Hey.
All you, Zeke.
I mean, you guys, were you get tilted? You want to see Aiden and Nick Merckx? Well, I mean, gentlemen. I mean, hey, I've got him. So, guys, let's talk. Tilted Towers. What's going on? We'll start with you, Nick.
We got some spicy fights going on right now. The first one, I didn't put up too much of a fight. He had a great right-hand peek on me. The second one, I swear I thought I hit him for 500 health. El Taños over here, the limited time game thing. He had so much health. I kept cracking him and cracking him.
It was tricky, and we were in Nick's towers, and I had a couple gas grenades, you know, to make him move around. So we're having good fights, man. We got 2 more games. I'm sure we'll meet each other again.
Towers today, but hey, I'm gonna try to take him back. All right, I'm trying to take him back. Yo, I hit you for 500, man. I'm telling you, I counted it. I'm no mathematician, but I got him for 500. He just kept staying alive, man.
So I mean, is it fair to say you guys are gonna keep landing tilted? I mean, yeah.
We already know, man. Yeah.
All right. So who do you? We got 2 more games. So I mean, is it gonna be you 2? Is it gonna be you 2? Is it gonna be 1-1? What do you guys think?
Dude, truly, man, these fights are long. There's a lot of ins and outs. I guess it's just who plays better, who's quicker to the punch. He loves it. He's really aggressive, you know. But if he falls into my trap, it sure work, you know.
What about you?
I think he's gonna get me a game. I like to just, you know, get the mats quick and just rush him before he can get what he likes, and yeah, I'm gonna just keep putting the pressure on him.
I mean, and the final question I want to ask you guys are playing on controller, and you guys are showing up everyone. Do you guys have any tips, any words you'd like to say?
No, man, I'm super happy to be here. I feel that it's a very unique and cool thing that him and I get to compete against PC guys and stuff and kind of put on for an entire community that I know I care a lot about. I'm sure you do as well. And you know, we're both doing very well today, especially you. Just keep on carrying the torch, and thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, it's an honor to be here as well. You know, we're doubted as console players, so to come in here and compete and, you know, play so high, it's awesome. And to meet Nick, it's awesome, man, having some good controller players in here.
Fantastic, gentlemen. Best of luck to you guys going forward. Courage, Lupo, back to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, live in the venue, could we make some noise for those two great competitors here?
People have been going
Absolutely.
nuts every single time they run into each other. They even threw together a quick like round 3 fight graphic for the screen, which was awesome to see that.
My
And
goodness.
honestly, like Nick said, we've got 2 games left. I have a feeling he's going to turn it back into Nick Towers at some point, my friend.
Right.
The fam will be very proud when it happens.
Oh, you know, they roll deep out there online. What a day it has been so far. I know everyone's talking about the ending of that last game. What a funny moment. But either way, I think we should have the standings updates for you guys here very, very soon. So actually, first, this is a good little TV, little technique right here. Standings right after this. Quick break. Don't go anywhere.
descargas en las dos plataformas.
gentlemen, welcome back to the continued coverage of the grand final of the Fortnite Summer Skirmish. My name is Jack Courage Delnop, and I'm joined by none other than the wonderful Dr. Lupo. We have played 4 of our 6 games, and so far, things have been crazy.
We've seen some insanity, Jack, and we got 2 games left. It's not even close to done yet.
Yes.
$1.5 million on the line. Players starting to establish pretty significant leads in terms of points, even eliminations. We've seen aggressive gameplay. We've seen people playing very secure. We've seen, honestly, some of the fastest edits and replacements of materials to just make windows and take shots at people that I've ever seen.
Yep.
The number of players that we've seen people flying now, which is insanity. And I mean, this is Fortnite. This is one of the things that drives excitement for a lot of players is just how aggressive people can play a game that is so open to so many players. I feel like everybody plays it.
No,
everybody plays it.
For sure. Everyone knows what it is. Everyone plays it now. It's a quick update for you all at home. I know that last game was absolutely crazy from top to bottom. We have some a little message to share. So, all Fortnite competitions are played on a live server environment. Players' last game were in an anti-gravity zone. The anti-gravity zones have been disabled for the rest of the competition today. So in games 5 and 6, we won't be flying around nearly as much.
It was exciting to watch. Don't get me wrong, and we both kind of didn't know it. You threw a card in the air, and
no one got hit by it.
Exactly, no one, not even remotely. Can't prove it. It's not anywhere on the internet. But for the following 2 games, the last 2, Game 5, Game 6, that stuff, like you said, it's off
on the ground.
Jack, you said before, stick around till after the break for the standings. Well, guess what? We've got them.
Boom.
Let's take a look.
Let's see where we stack up after 4 games. Morgoss in that beautiful top spot. 12 elims, 8 points, feeling darn good. Tendon's last game, though, with the elims, which was nuts. And then you see Liquid Poach actually moving to that 4th spot.
Now, Morgoss, like you said, the leader there with 8 points, but there's a number of players very close on his tail. We have a ton of people here with 3 or more, even 2. Boyer down there in the 16th slot. A lot of high elimination count. We already have multiple players, 4 players with double-digit eliminations, but that's not all. Here's your 17th through 32nd. Tons of players. We've seen QUIÉN putting on a good show, taking out a lot of big-name players, people you've seen all over the place in Summer Skirmish the prior 7 weeks, even the last 3 days, and he's starting to assert some dominance. Punisher here starting 33rd. And all these players, it is terrifying to see the list of names here. And you have to remember, too, we've seen already multiple people in the grand finals drop 6 points in a single match. That means, I mean, the leader's at 8. Anybody can catch up. Anybody, nobody's safe. It's absolutely crazy.
$1.5 million on the line, 21st through 100th. All take home $5,000. So the top 20 obviously see that leap in prize money. That's going to be kind of our thing we look at. Another thing to keep in mind, a victory royale is $25,000. I saw Cypher actually tweet out and say, that was a $25,000 trap elimination. And that's exactly what it was.
It's absolutely wild. Now we're just getting word in. There's actually an additional change on top of what Courage mentioned earlier. The anti-gravity zones being disabled. Are you strapped in?
Ladies and gentlemen, do we want another announcement? I think we could give another announcement to the folks at home. We are adding a 7th game to today now, so everything stands and we get even more Fortnite action. The day keeps on going, and the 7th game will also have the additional $25,000 prize for Victory Royale.
The insanity
so this day just keeps getting better and better,
folks.
Yet, Jack. I'm loving this right now. I might miss my flight later. I don't even care. Let's keep having a good time.
3 games left now. We're going to roll into game 5 before too long here. But 3 games. That's, like you said, an additional $25,000. I think anybody that might have been confused, thrown off by the players flying through the air,
like we were.
I mean, you saw it on our faces. That was crazy. They get another shot. Game 7 is going to come up at the end of today. What a way to go out today, too, man.
I'm loving this, man. The storylines keep building. The interview with Aiden and Nick Merckx was hysterical. A lot of respect from them.
It's a rivalry you love to see. Everybody here loves to see it, too, right? Can we make some noise for these gentlemen?
They've been getting into it as well. It's been awesome to watch. Definitely becoming fan favorites. Players making a name for themselves. This is absolutely the biggest spectacle at PAX West this weekend. A fully at capacity Fortnite booth with the grand finals of the Summer Skirmish. Obviously, this is like just the beginning for Fortnite competition and what's to come. I can't wait for more announcements. Obviously, Season 6 right on the horizon. Everyone wondering what's happening with the Cube. You've got the new limited time mode coming out next week. High stakes, all the new skins. It's a darn good time to be a fan of Fortnite, I can tell you that much.
Jack, from one friend to another, if you don't put up a good grappler montage clip, literally the day that you get home and play, first game, literally first game, I'm going to remove you from my friends list. I'm sorry.
Well, all right. No.
I won't
Please
really.
don't do that.
I would never do that. Are you kidding me?
I'll yell at the end of it, and it'll be uploaded to all social media. So
of course, absolutely.
That's the only way you play
It's what you do.
Yeah, that's literally my job. We are getting into Game 5 here very, very soon. Appreciate your patience as we got all things sorted. As you can imagine, after last game, some people wanted to have some chats about
exactly
what occurred, but there's all our players now. They've been told there's a 7th game. There's another $25,000 up for grabs, the Victory Royale. Everyone loading on in. Nick Merckx getting the headset ready as the crowd gets behind him. Top boy there on your screen.
Nate Hill right next to him. All these players, it's so many people to keep your eyes on. There are a number of players too that we've discussed multiple times that were stars for the qualifiers before this. We have not seen put up a big show per game yet. We've got 4 games down, 3 remaining though, which means it's still anybody's game.
Yeah,
we can see multiple 6-point games still, as we've already seen in the first 4 matches. We've seen some crazy plays, some really good shots from players, some predicting the way that other players are going to play, the movements they're going to make. I love seeing that kind of stuff come out.
Yep. And I believe we're going to get a quick reset on the lobby as one player wasn't connected. So we'll go ahead and get that all sorted before we hop into Game 5. A lot of people talking after that last game about everything that obviously went on. Hashtag Summer Skirmish online. Just crazy to see just how many people are watching this. I mean, you mentioned to me some figures of people who were tuned into streams.
Over 700,000, I think, on Twitch alone, and that's not the only place it's being broadcast. It's incredible.
It's a lot of people.
Incredible.
That is a lot of people.
A few, yeah.
For everyone during the break, one funny moment that happened was, if you missed it, I threw my card and actually hit wonderful lady.
Did not actually.
In the back of the head here. She's not suing me. I did give her a bunch of exclusive PAX codes for the spray in game, but funny moments like that. I think it was between the anti-gravity and that, we had a lot to talk about during that break, so it went by pretty quick.
It did indeed. And you have to remember, if you're here at PAX West, if you're in Seattle even, Jack might have mentioned earlier, it feels like the place is packed to the brim, but please, make your way on down here. We have 3 games left, and you don't want to miss a second of what's happened so far today. Fortnite they're setting the standard for events like this, and Summer Skirmish, I feel like, is only going to be the beginning of what's to come. I'm sure Epic has all sorts of shenanigans up their sleeve. The competitive scene is only getting started.
100%. We've
got all sorts of, like you said, we've got a new mode coming down the pipe here. This is only the beginning too. We've seen a trend from them even at events like this, like PAX and everything before this. We saw the Pro-Am at E3 was outside in a stadium.
Yep.
This is only the beginning. There's so much more to come.
No, for sure, and it gets me excited just to think about the future. Either way, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but to look back at our games so far, we mentioned how every break of these games, we can basically just wind up seeing exactly these same players fighting because they're all landing at the same areas for the most part. You know, we were looking at Aiden and Nick fighting in Tilted, Cryomi as well as Saf fighting at the top of Viking Village, Hysteria getting into engagements down in Greasy. Now going into what's going to be the 5th game that these guys have played against each other, it's getting to a point where you can almost land and know, okay, this guy's going to push me from this area in the next 15, 20 seconds. This guy's going to be in this building. I'm wondering if we see any strategies change now to kind of make it so they can potentially get the drop on their opponent that lands near them in their drop zone. Well,
some of them, like you said, I mean, Aiden and Nick Merckx, we'll use as an example. It's been a spot, like a highlight moment every single game thus far. And Aiden, the 3 of the 4 games so far, there you see him on the screen right there. Both very, very kind to each other in that little interview. But I'm sure Aiden is thinking, yeah, right now I own Tilted Towers.
Yeah.
Nick, I dare you to come back here. And that kind of confidence, that's going to help him. Whether it's accuracy or positioning, he's got, well, seemingly he's got it all so far. The window peaks, everything he's doing. He even at one point he said, "This has got to be a PC player that I'm playing against." And lo and behold, no, it's Nick Merckx, another one of the best controller players we've ever seen. And whether he's losing the Aiden in these engagements or not, the fact that they're still they're fighting for that long, they're disengaging and re-engaging those choices. I think that establishes that win or lose in that 1v1. He's putting on a good show.
Yep.
He's very aware of what's going on. I mean, there's going to be an outplay from him soon, I guarantee it.
I think that kind of sums up Tilted perfectly, right? Like, there's so much already established building there that they're just navigating in and out of these corridors, using sound to their advantage, making sure they can kind of catch their opponents off guard, hide behind a wall, third-person perspective it. Either way, it shows just how much these guys land there. They've been the big talk of the town so far. Nick Murph's giving fist bumps to everyone around him. Definitely someone who likes to promote so much positivity in the community, which is great to see. The other big names here so far today, right now in that 4th spot we saw in the standings, was actually Liquid Poach. He's the highest in the standings right now who don't have a Victory Royale, who doesn't have a Victory Royale. So the 3 above him all have actually won a game. Landjock, who is our other player who's won, is lower on the standings. But Poach showing just how quality of a player he is, Lupo, to be that high up without having a victory yet.
Now, I'm looking forward to see players that dropped like 10+ eliminations in a single game. Animal Tylers, I want to see them show up and play that aggressive gameplay that they've played in the past. There's a chance that maybe right now we've been through 4 games, and maybe before this they were playing a little timid in comparison to what they had done during the qualifiers. It could be the pressure. All these people watching and the number of players that are around them that are extremely competitive. Speaking of competitive players around them, the drop is coming soon, Courage. Are you ready for Game 5?
We go. Quick little break, a little reset. We've added another game. We've seen all sorts of stuff. Game 5 is here. The bus has taken off. Remember, each Victory Royale, $25,000 in the bank in prize money. Let's get into the action.
Southwest to the far east, going to fly past Lonely Lodge there. You'll see a couple of the Liquid players, pretty well known for going Wailing Woods. They'll wait till a late drop. You've got in your bottom right there Nate Hill from FaZe flying in. He's looking towards Fatal Fields. But pretty much everybody, like we've seen, consistent spread. Not a whole lot of engagements. Not a whole lot. There's no more than like 5 or 6 players in a single location. Even less than that, typically. Retail has a handful there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like at Tilted. 2 players laying on the south side there. This is back over the Fatal Field to see. Running around. Nate's going to try and get this. This is an outside of Fatal drop. Full shield, a good pickup early. He's got an AR, some bandages. Nothing, I was literally about to say, nothing up close. Picks up an SMG. A decent kit early. You'd want to look for a shotgun. But I'd like to point out, Jack, that the anti-grav shield, the bubble is there visually, but just so everybody's aware, the effect itself has been disabled, like we said. So don't worry about the fact that you can see the bubble. Again, it's not engaged right now.
Now I just want to go home and fly around the map.
I do. Turn that into a thing.
Either way, here's Ranger, who's got a tactical shotgun and a rocket launcher. Interesting loadout off the break. I think he realizes that as well. When you have the rockets, it's so key to get that high ground established right away. Rockets so much more lethal when you can obviously shoot down onto your opponent with them. This is Saint, who continually lands near this Greasy Grove area from my experience in previous summer skirmishes. No, he's been clingered. Remember, clingers do flat 100 damage, so thankfully the shields will save him, but he's got to try to disengage, and he only has 2 builds. This looks like it's going to be a disaster for him.
Looks like he got potentially a little distracted by looking for Nice down underneath, and Bowman took it. Yeah, it was Bowman from the backside coming up from the south, chucked that clinger. But Bowman now focuses on Nice inside the building.
And another!
Player 4 is into the match. Bowman very low here. He's tossing the remote explosives. Maybe take an opportunity to pop that med kit. You're not going to have another time to do it. Gets the mini, a faster use, so the mini is going to take priority. Wants to get any buffer he can. Tyler's in the feed, by the way, getting an elimination in there, but Bowman gets that mini use off. Crashy, the player pushing up here.
Oh, Nice with the eliminate on Bowman. Crashy's got to follow this up quick because look at the health he has right now. 200 HP. That was his last build. He's got a great swap combination between that heavy shotgun and the drum gun, which still has a full clip, and there's all sorts of loot down low.
Saint dropped the rocket inside through the building, explodes.
Oh,
Nice. So now this is from the outside. So Crashy may not realize it. That was Saint from up top of the hill. The player inside, he knows is gone now, but he's got to try and figure out where it came from. Saint sliding down for a little bit of fall damage there. This is Aiden back in Tilted Towers. Look at his first elimination. Catches Kairos off guard. Both dropping on top of the big red apartment building. Comes away with a purple AR too, which is really good pickup. But it doesn't even matter. Look, he already has a gold AR. He's going to push inside with his chest. And the hope for shield. And I think he just pulled one right there before it got away.
Interesting. This is probably the first game where Nick has actually reached max shield before Aiden. I think Aiden will catch up, though, here soon.
Ecstatic, the typical third party in Tilted. Here's your leaderboard for right now. Aiden with an elimination there. We get sorted by elimination count. Morgas, though, you see the score. This is your leaderboard sorted by score on the far right side. Morgas was at 8, Blind in second place at 6, Nate Hill, Aiden, Bizzle, and Saf rounding out that top 6.
Already
the French
500 material. Such a good
med. 3 remote explosives. He's got a swap weapon and upgrades his shotgun.
And just for everyone at home, when we say swap weapon, we're talking about the submachine gun. So you can take the pump shotgun shot, and then because there's that delay before you can fire the second shot, instead you swap to a spray weapon, whether it's an SMG, a drum gun. Some people even just use an assault rifle.
That's all you have. You know, you got to take the opportunity. The reason being, during that like cooldown period after you take a shot, you see it. Swaps
it's a 96
off, and now he's
tag
bang.
right there.
The FPS knowing exactly how to utilize that. Timing basically the right amount of AR spray and then swap back to the shotgun to try and go for another shot. Shotguns hit so hard up close. In these up close fights, every single point of damage matters. If he's accurate, he's in the right amount, he's the right range away before damage drop off takes over. The timing on that can be key. It could be the difference between a one shot and maybe your opponent spraying you down while you're trying to get the shotgun shot off.
The FPS is, instead of building himself, he's just going to reset to the high ground. And he's dodging these clingers, so it looks like he's kind of read his opponent perfectly. Alpha Amons just inside the build and brick. And look, he's shaking his head. You can see in that camera, frustrated with the position he's in right now. Not a lot of health, very exposed, and the FPS is maxed on HP. And he's going to match the build right now. I think the end might be near for Alpha here soon.
Alpha pushing up, gets the top down on him, trying to get the jump shotgun shot. FPS kind of layering away. He's got multiple layers there, basically right at the perfect spot to lay a floor, back up a step, lay another floor. So there's multiple wood platforms between Alpha Amons deciding to go for it. He's trying to get the top down. He's got to hit big shots here. It's 100 HP, 100 shield on his opponent below him.
It's almost to a point where like Alpha has to hit like a snipe headshot or something. A ridiculous scenario he finds himself in. The FPS just rotating all around, bouncing. Looking for that perfect... It's also a thing where if you're the FPS, if you're wondering why he's kind of playing this slow, yes, he doesn't have the high ground, but he almost doesn't want to take any damage either. Right? He knows he's got a heavy advantage, but he's looking to just get that perfect opportunity. Now might be his chance. It might just be time to spray this player down, shoot that top left structure, and it might all fall.
He's got it looks like there's 2 connected points. If he goes for it, which is exactly what he's going to do, he's got that the arch, the half arch is all that's holding it up, and here it comes. Alpha's got to drop down and save himself with a build. Lands on top of the building, just barely got down fast enough to not take any fall damage, but he's still basically one shot at this point. One pump shot is going to be all it takes. Push catches him in the corner, and there it is. First elimination for FPS. An excellent set of plays there. Choosing just the right time to push.
Here's another side of the map. Ripmate. Not much useful weaponry in his inventory. What?
An 82.
I take back everything I've ever said.
Catches Landjock, our first winner off guard there. Takata right here in shifty shafts, jump around trying to get the top down on his opponent, drops in and a big hit, 2 HP left. The crashing, he does have a med kit and minis, so he's still,